Mama! What the fuck is this? Watching videos might have been a mistake. Ooh, Desparius had a video. Ooh, we haven't reacted to Desparius being weird. Ooh, Desparius is weird. Ooh. Right, what is this? This is what I actually want to know. What the fuck is talking about? Stats that need a redesign in Final Fantasy XIV. Let's watch.
Welcome to another video. This time I want to touch upon a topic that is widely being discussed under the framework of: is the item system of Final Fantasy boring, or do we need new gearing systems? While these statements contain some truth, there's a longer story to the topic, but we want to take a small glimpse into one of the biggest factors why gearing, while being nearly the same since Realm Reborn.
I'm thinking back on all, like, the number of videos I've reacted, specifically from Desparius, and it's somehow he keeps trying to make gearing videos, and so far I believe like 2 videos we've watched so far specifically from him about gearing have been like massively wrong and very misinformative. So I'm very on one side I'm curious about a casual player's take on this. On the other side, I am also, you know, I'm curious, what is he doing this time? What is he about to tell us this time? Has he actually, you know, done research? Has he Googled it? Yeah, React.
Might feel more dull than ever before, especially since the mid of Shadowbringers.
Motherfucker isn't even using his own footage anymore. I'm Mr. Happy.
Because of
Motherfucker has so much stock footage that he usually reuses from his older videos that he actually edited, and now he's literally just yoinking fucking Mr. Happy's video.
one little secondary stat: critical hit. What had originally been designed to amplify those jobs that have critical hit amplification inside of their skill kit, or those that profit of...
Hold on, fucking what?
One little secondary stat: critical hit.
Oh, Alliance Raid, let's go. Let's finish watching Desparius' smelly video. Where was we?
Because of one little secondary stat: critical hit. What had originally been designed to amplify those jobs that have critical hit amplification inside of their skill kit, or those that profit of higher crit values due to guaranteed critical hits.
Isn't that all jobs? Wait, hold on. Some jobs that benefit from higher critical chance. Well, I guess it doesn't create critical damage as well, so... I'm guessing Machinists, they have a guaranteed crit ability. What else? I guess Scholar benefits. I guess Dragoon, Warrior, obviously. Who else? These 4 are the ones that come off the top of my head, but it's like that one crit ability is not that major, I'd say. Like, if some other stats were a bit better balanced, it's like people would swap from them. People don't get extra crit strike because their abilities benefit from them. They get higher crit strike because it's just overall better damage from them spamming all the rest of the abilities as well. In either case.
Now has predominantly become the one stat to rule them all.
Not necessarily. Sometimes quite a few jobs literally will prioritize direct hit rate or determination and spell speed. Well, spell speed is very few cases, but there are jobs that will prioritize, and depending which type of content, they will specifically pick up direct hit rate or determination. Crit is majority of jobs, but it's like it's not a very overwhelming majority. Like even Warrior, like it had guaranteed crit, but like the early start of the expansion, people would build determination on them instead of crit. Obviously they changed and crit affects differently, but it is very flimsy to just assume kind of that it's just because of that. It's mainly because people do thousands of attacks per pull, and they gotta generate the crits and direct hit rate.
Yeah, it might be on par with direct hit on certain occasions, and for a job like the Black Mage...
Oh no, it's not on fucking par. It's either better than direct hit rate, or direct hit rate, depending on the job, is gonna be better than crit. they're not on par. Direct hit rate and determination are on par, depending on the job. But in most cases, literally 9 out of 10 cases, direct hit rate and determination are literally going to give you the same thing. But crit and direct hit rate, nah, you're high.
Spell speed might still be the top stat if you're hunting down a certain spell rotation, but you simply can't go wrong with maxing crit to its fullest.
He's literally showing a black mage. Black mages have a spell speed build. So do summoners. A lot of healer builds also like will go nothing but spell speed depending on the content. Like for example, if you check top, Astro goes very high spell speed. White mage, well, Astro in general just goes high spell speed. White mage will go spell speed if you're doing top. It's like it's not just rotational alignment. It's also how the jobs work. But spell speed is an option on some jobs.
Either, and that in my opinion is a shame. Due to the fact that crit is king, no other stat needs to be considered. Besides,
that's no. What do you mean crit is king? It's not. It is a very popular stat, but it's not king. Because if you have nothing but crit, okay, good example. If you have just crit, and then you also have a less favorable stat, let's say spell speed or tenacity, that crit means fucking nothing. It means nothing. You're gonna crit a lot. Your crit chance might be very high on the meters, but you're gonna do way less damage. It's not just that. Stats are boring in my case. Doesn't matter if crit is best. Yeah, like in some cases even, and you will get this occasionally, depending patch to patch, mind you. So it's not a a surefire kind of solution. But like in a lot of cases, a lot of guides will literally tell you get the highest item level. Just get the highest item level. Because crit is not the king of stats. It's the main stats that are gonna be king. But if we're talking specifically secondary, crit is very popular, but it's not the top one. Because a lot of jobs will specifically meld the fuck out of direct hit rate or determination. Depending on the build, you might also go spell speed. Not skill speed, mind you. We're not there yet. But spell speed, definitely. There are multiple stats. If they fix tenacity, that's definitely gonna throw a wrench in the machine of stats.
Besides reaching some very small fractions of skill or spell speed to make rotations work smoothly.
This kind of starts explaining where he's getting his information. In some of his videos, he did recommend go check the balance, go check the discords and etc. And then he goes on Icy Veins, which is like the least reliable source because they will update the guides by people from the high-end community in 14 will update these guides. Then they will stop doing it. Patch to patch, they might come back or someone else will take over and try to update them.
And even this has become much easier.
Go to balance. Just go to balance or ask people around in LPDU. LPDU is not just about ultimates, it's also where like the top players will gladly give you fucking advice if you just ask them.
Easier over time due to the homogenization of jobs inside of the 2-minute rotation meta.
I don't think the 2-minute rotation meta has anything to do with stats or crit. It has something to do with, skill speed and spell speed, but just having some skills that get an increase from crit strike is... The more I'm thinking on it right now, it has so little relevancy to it. Hold on, let me listen to this. Maybe I missed something.
Or spell speed to make rotations work smoothly. And even this has become much easier over time due to the homogenization of jobs inside of the 2-minute rotation meta. I do remember the days of pre-casting Flamethrower as Machinist and then hitting so hard on your OGCD management that I'm definitely not sure if I would be able to perform the Stormlight rotation nowadays.
Oh, fuck's sake. Even I remember old Machinist because I started playing in Stormblood. So, Machinist was a vastly different fucking job before Shadowbringers. Also, let me double check something once again. Because we've done this before. We would check Desperius's... what's his name? Desperia Abaddon. We would check his logs. And we would just find out that... he literally does nothing. He will literally does nothing. Also, I think he misspelled Abaddon, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't think this is the person I want telling me about stats. Like, some of you are looking like, hey, he's cleared some fights. No, he hasn't. This is normal. He's cleared the story. But it looks at it once. He's cleared the story once. And then he did it to get the tombstone weapon object, the little tombstone thing. I don't think this person knows or understands the stat weights, because this is like the third video at this point. This is the third video. This is also normal. There's no savage. He does not understand. Like, normal doesn't require optimization of damage because there's no enrages. Your damage doesn't matter because you're going to kill the boss eventually by just clicking buttons. And, you know, not standing in AoE. Savage. He's cleared... Oh, fuck's sake. Okay. I'm going to assume he obviously didn't clear ultimates. Duh. Extremes. And give me something. The spare is fucking... How many times do we need to do this dance where I need to check if you know what the fuck you're talking about? Okay, you've done these two multiple times. Cool. Good. I'm glad you're doing something. Okay, you're in Summoner. You've logged... Wait. 2020. Wait, January... A year ago. What? No, actually, what the fuck am I talking about? 2 years ago. Okay. He did something. Like, the entire expansion. I see you can do something. But it's like 39 extreme kills the entire expansion. Like, Unreal, give me something. Nothing. There's nothing. He does not know how the stats get affected by level scaling. He doesn't understand how they affect different jobs. I don't trust this person with any opinions at this point. Criterion, give me something. You had opinions on Criterion. Okay, nothing. Dungeons, endgame. You haven't even... You can't be fucking serious. This is not even, like... Fuck's sake. Okay, let's say he's not logging, but, like... I understand, like, not everyone logs their fucking dungeons. But how often do you do content, let's say roulettes or expert to get tombstones, and someone in the dungeon will? You're not always with your, 3 other friends doing the roulettes. It's like, this should have been a higher number, after 2 years of the expansion. God knows, at least this one. Definitely not a minion hunter. Okay, he definitely enjoys Alliance raids. We know this, because he has a whole video about gearing up an Alliance raid. Let's see. Yo, let's go! 6 skills in each. Okay, for 6 weeks, he went in there. Okay, Thalea, done. Jeffrezine? Yo, one more! Aglaya? Yo, let's go! Yo, is he a tank main now? Let's go! No, he's... What the fuck? Like, the one... Of course. Whatever. Whatever. I don't fucking care anymore. Opinion is so irrelevant. Okay, let's just... Whatever. Let's finish.
But even just to get there had been a wild speculation of which ERPs might fit, to not go too much over...
It's not a speculation. Once you understand the weights... There's a reason people specifically make Excel sheets with calculators. It's not speculations. Same in Stormblood. Those Excel sheets existed then. I know they did because I used them.
Overboard on the skill speed department or have too small values of it. I mean, there were even ping tiers for whatever speed your Ethernet connection could handle. However, even while I welcome...
Something a lot of actually physical range mains have been talking about on stream recently, like including Saren that I've heard. It's like the whole VPN thing, it's kind of like it's not gonna, it might help you somehow a bit, but it's like it doesn't actually fucking help you that much. It doesn't help you play better. The ping is not gonna affect you that much. Like Monk or Ninja, who will have like the fastest skill speed, might have the biggest trouble with ping, because I remember I had this issue because my ping was a bit too high above the norm. Like it was above the 50 ping that's kind of required for average gameplay, and like my modders would just constantly just muck up. Knew all of them by heart. I practiced them so much just to know them by heart, and just for them to muck up mid-combat. I would just constantly fucking spam rabbits because of like clipping or other.
The change in the end of Heavensward when hit rating got...
Oh my god, the Heaven's Sword. Of course he's talking about Heaven's Sword.
Placed with direct hit, this stat has turned into something obsolete. While it can become a cool min-maxing stat for healers to hit the ultimate DPS levels achievable,
what the fuck is he talking about? Hold on.
Got replaced with direct hit, this stat has turned into something obsolete. While it can become a cool min-maxing stat for healers to hit the ultimate DPS...
Is he talking about crit or skill speed right now?
Or have two small values of it. I mean, there were even ping tiers for whatever speed your Ethernet connection could handle. However, even while I welcomed the change in the end of Heavensward when hit rating got replaced with direct hit, this stat has turned into something obsolete. While it
direct hit rate
can become a cool min-maxing stat for healers to hit the ultimate DPS levels achievable, for
give me a sec. Why does he never fucking check his own sources? Why does he never just Google what the fuck he's talking about? Never! It might be a good stat to, you know, parse your DPS as a heal. Shut the fuck up. Holy shit. Every fucking video.
For nearly all other jobs, it is made into a critical hit's little sibling. At least with the changes in early Endwalker, where higher values also increase the chance and damage of direct hits.
I like that this whole video is about, you know, we gotta make changes to crit and direct hit rate, because, you know, they need changes, and he just went down fucking the road of reminiscence about the good old days of Heavensward. He's good. We're only 2 minutes in, and he's probably gonna talk about Stormblood for like another 2 minutes.
It's in the same way crit does, but yeah, different. It just feels artificially pushed to serve as the take crit and D-hit and avoid basically all else. That I do welcome as casual gear farmer, but if I would actually enjoy the whole item system more, I might truly have more...
To be fair, their hit rate and crit strike, they are very similar, but they work massively differently. Massively differently. Like crit strike obviously increases the crit chance of hitting things, but it also increases crit strike damage. Direct hit rate, on the other hand, the more direct hit rate you have, the more it ramps up in how often you're gonna hit it. Damage is not gonna be, you know, critical hit increased levels. Because there's a reason we don't get specifically, you know, guaranteed direct hit rate strike on any of the skills. They are very similar in a way that you have a chance to do more damage, but they function very differently. So, well, not that very differently, but like the result and how you would abuse it, the stat in different jobs, is going to be very different. I like that he's showing his like 510 fucking item level here.
Motivation to min-max my gear as well, if we take the slow progression curve of gear upgrades out of our minds, of course. And I do remember that in Shadow...
I don't think you understand, like, this... No, I'm not gonna get into it. I know he doesn't understand what the fuck he's talking about. I'm just not gonna get into it.
Bringers, we recommended direct hit over crit in a lot of our job guides. And while I'm not the biggest stat theory crafter, this was in line with what other sources implied. And now the whole gearing section shifted, and direct hit has become a placeholder for a stat that could easily serve as a rotation shift value or something that would give your job a personal note.
What the fuck? This right here does not apply to all fucking jobs. Wait, hold on.
Can you imagine?
Oh no, he's just showing off fucking a different shot from a guide. It's not actually relevant to the video. Hold on, he's still like...
Wait, for a stat that could...
Wait, hold on, that's what he's fucking doing. He's just recycling old footage. There's a reason it's not actually relevant to what he's talking about.
Serve as a rotation shift value or something that would give your job a personal note. Can you imagine?
I saw the... Wait, hold on.
Easily serve as a rotation shift value or something that would give your job a personal note.
Yeah, see? There's fucking text appearing. He's recycling his old fucking footage. Weapon damage, dexterity, critical strike, direct hitter. Yeah, he's just recycling footage. He doesn't actually know what the fuck he's talking about. He didn't double check. Why does he never fact check what the fuck he's talking about? Desperious, I know you're gonna watch this video because you need to complain about me. Or leave another fucking... You're a rude comment, but you need to start Googling this shit. It's not that hard. You literally recommended the sources of information for this in multiple of your videos. Why do you never double check what you're talking about? What is this?
Can you imagine a red mage having a stat that would boost its healing output so much that it could easily support healers in single target healing scenarios? Or a Reaper going so hard into a defensive value that you could probably shirk enmity to them for soaking a small tank buster, so that you could tackle the encounter with just one tank, for example. This is what I would love.
I mean, you already can towards, like, slaying and maiming jobs. You can they can actually survive a minor tank buster. I don't know, fucking... Like, whatever.
Love to see being added to the game. Maybe not in Dawntrail as 3 months before the expansion. I firmly believe there are many things set in stone already. But for another expansion after it maybe. Not the boring crit is king and has a little brother stat distribution we have right now. It all started with direct hit being added to the game and finished the whole thing with being altered to a less powerful version of crit that doesn't get as many amplifiers in game as crit has.
It's not supposed to get amplifiers. There's a reason direct hit rate works the way it does and why people actually liked it. Obviously, we would like some more stats that actually function better and that there's more variety, but that would also require for us to have more gear. Like, gearing and stats, it's a whole entire other conversation. Just because of item level, lockouts, tombstones, and just like the limited amount of gear or sets we can have. We're not going to get more stats, obviously, but some of these stats could be fixed, like tenacity or determination. But direct hit rate and crit strike are fine where they are right now.
Remember Kaiten? Yes, this was all part of it, and while it could be seen as a redundant skill to make the rotation feel...
Kaiten increased the potency of your sticker cast on your samurai. I know this. How do I know this? As you can see, I still have Kaiten on my bars. Increases potency of next weapon skill by 50%. Never forget. Never forget. Oh, it's behind my head. Let me just kind of like... There you go. You see it now.
Nice big sword strummer.
Thank you. Obviously, you needed to... It was just honestly just a potency spender. It added like the one extra button of difficulty to your rotation, but your rotation barely changed without it. So like the extra crit strikes are were welcome. Not by everyone, mind you, but they were welcome by me.
Artificially bloated. This OGCD was part of the samurai...
Wait, what did he say?
Kaiten? Yes, this was all part of it, and while it could be seen as a redundant skill to make the rotation feel artificially bloated, this OGCD was part of the samurai's identity, and instead of removing it, they should have kept it in place so that
It was not part of the identity. It was not part of the identity. The identity are all the stickers and, you know, the cast he does, the Midaris and whatnot. That's the identity of a samurai. It is not the Kaiten. You are very confused about the identity of some jobs. How would you describe Kaiten being the identity of a job? An OBGCD that increases your only Midaris, because you're not going to cast it on anything else in most of the content. Like, I get that Samurai may have too many buttons right now. I get that. I understand. But it's like... Kaiten was just... like, people were unhappy when Kaiten was removed. Are they still complaining about it? No, they're just memeing, remember Kaiten. Remember. We must remember Kaiten. No, but nobody, you know, quit playing Samurai because Kaiten was removed. Because the identity is still there.
it is stronger in certain party compositions, and of course weaker in others. I would have thoroughly enjoyed if a dancer-supported samurai would play differently than the one without a dancer, but both leading to the same overall damage output. Or just imagine having spell speed or skill speed affect the total remaining time of buffs and big cooldowns like it kinda does on the summoner bit.
Kinda?
But with much more impact. So much that you would have to make the decision of, hey, bigger Falcleys or more of them.
No. That's dumb. There's a reason people did not like the old warrior Falcleave mechanic. There's a reason people specifically wanted stacks instead of just putting as many Falcleaves into a damage window. People did not like it. That was just not fun to play around. That you basically do your 1, 2, 3 rotation and occasional Falcleave throughout the rotation, and just during 1 minute and 2 minutes you just go ta 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 ta, and it's just you're doing the same rotation, but it's now Falcleaves. No, there's a reason people wanted the Bloodspiller half stacks. There's a reason they wanted Falcleaves on inner release to have stacks. It was not fun. It just wasn't.
I don't expect trinkets or even tier sets or legendary weapons in this game. I have led that discussions many.
How is he always comparing it to World of Warcraft? And nobody who plays World of Warcraft likes the gearing system there. Nobody ever said, you know what, let me tell you why the World of Warcraft gearing system is great. Because I love going into Mythic Plus 20 times per day and not getting the item I need. I love going into raids and prog for 3 hours just to clear 2 bosses without getting loot. I love the chance of not getting any loot on a weekly basis and never getting what I need. Substats in WoW feel more impactful. That is true. They do. There's a lot more of them, but you also need to remember there's a lot more how those stats are played. There's a lot more classes in that. Again, there's also a lot more races for once too, as well. And their rotation are less... What's the word? They're less static, I guess, compared to the ones in Final Fantasy. But it's like stats are a lot more impactful. But gearing in that game is a nightmare. Let me tell you, there was a trinket that dropped from what was the boss in Burning Throne. He was like the Dreadlord under the Four Sisters. I have cleared that raid week 1. I have cleared it. I've cleared it week fucking 1. Mind you, normal. Heroic took me a couple more weeks. I cleared it. I got people mounts, you know? I literally farmed the fuck out of that raid to get my friends mounts. Like, even Light can attest to that. At one point, we have done over 60 clears within a week in LFG, just to get all our friends the heroic mount. We farmed the fuck out of that raid. But I got my Bis trinket in the last 2 months of that patch. My Bis trinket that drops from the Dreadlord increases versatility and occasionally gives me bonus shadow damage. I remember the effect, I don't remember the name of it. But last 2 months of the patch, that's when I got it. Recleared it almost every fucking week. And I've done multiple reclears with friends just to get the mounts. That rate, gearing in World of Warcraft is a nightmare. They need to give us tokens there.
Many times, and people were mostly content with the flat equipment curve this game is offering. But I still believe it could be better than what we have at the moment, and even so that the overall design philosophy is kept in place, while having some options to alter your personal play.
You know what I hate about videos like these? Besides him, yoinking a lot of footage from other content creators, recycling his own content, I hate that Despairus just doesn't look up sources, the ones that he recited earlier himself. I hate this. Every time he makes multiple videos on gearing, and every time it has like a certain, like, not just like a minor level of misinformation, there's a huge level of like incompetence and misinformation in his videos regarding gear. It's like he's not even using like his own footage. He's not even. It's at this point all his videos are just backdrops. You can just listen to the videos. It's footage from Mr. Happy, from anyone else, from Xeno. It's just or just like reused older videos that he cuts off at like the worst times as well. It's like this is just I don't know. And the worst part is like you can if you have any idea about the game, the longer you listen to this, the lazier these videos seem. Because like a lot of the information he talks about can be just double fucking checked. You can confirm them. He previously has recommended checking out balance. He he recommended multiple surveys. Some of them outdated, mind you, but he did recommend them. And despair is you need to go to balance yourself. Make a burner account, make an alt, I don't care. But like you need to like I know you steal content. I know you do. We see you literally yoink full FanFest segments and re-upload them with no transformational change or anything. You steal content. We know this already. We've made fun of you for that at this point. But at this point, like the balance is there. LPDU is there as well. All the information is just right there for you to just be a rat and steal if you want to make content like this. But like half the time you just talk with it without having a proper idea about any of this. You need to start doing content. You need to start showing that you do content so people actually have confidence in what you're saying. And you need to start I don't know, just research, just Google. Because, like, just a 5, 10, 15-minute Google search or just looking through the Balance Discord could have saved you so much trouble. And, like, a high-end community just keeps making fun of you because of this. You keep making videos, but you keep refusing to just double-check or fact-check what you're saying. Like, I don't even care about the video. Let's say I just don't, I've given up. Like, I don't care about the video. The video is literally irrelevant. You're just showing footage for footage's sake, right? But the information, dude, double check, man, fact check. Go check out Balance, check out anything, literally anything. There's multiple sources, hell, even Icy Veins at this point. They have, some information about gearing or why the gearing is necessary. Or just ask people. At this point, literally no one will fault you for just fucking asking at this point.
Is kept in place, while having some options to alter your personal playstyle. I mean, this is just my...
There's never gonna be an alter to personal playstyle. Because we are on the 2-minute meta, and that's definitely not gonna change anytime soon. The playstyle, the whole thing about playstyle is literally... That is... playstyle is changing jobs. That's it. I know some people want to play some jobs differently, but the game is just not gonna allow it, because... However you want to feel about it, the raid fights are designed in a way where one job, if you given the choice between multiple sets, it would just underperform just because of that, just because of the raid designs. Not because of the job, not because of the stats, but because how raid designs are, like how raid fights are designed. Not just ultimates, extremes, and savage. If you want to perform better, you will look into these things and you will study up on them and you will figure out what your job gains most benefit from. And then you will play it. There's not, unfortunately, like as much as I wish there were more options for playstyle. There's just not. The multiple jobs is where your playstyle is. That's why we have multiple jobs of different on the same class. You got multiple tanks, you got multiple wizards. That is your playstyle. But it's definitely not going to stem from specifically the stats.
My subjective philosophy, and I admittedly have been overall design philosophy is kept in place while having some options to alter your personal playstyle. I mean, this is just my subjective philosophy, and
I wish he would start adding this particular disclaimer that it's just his subjective philosophy or opinion at the start of the video. Because a lot of people are just gonna watch, because he knows how fucking YouTube retention. Let's not kid ourselves. He knows how YouTube retention works. People will start listening, they will take it as fact, they will tell it to other people, either spread misinformation, or like multiple examples we've seen so far, those people are just going to be made fun of by people who actually know what the fuck they're doing. And most people will just not get to the point where they're just like, oh, it's just this guy's opinion. It's not actually a guide. Well, shit.
And I admittedly have been influenced by the good and bad versions of gearing in World of Warcraft.
Oh shit, no really. I never noticed. Man, I couldn't have guessed, man. Oh well, that caught me by surprise. Well, this makes a lot of fucking sense.
For more than a decade. But I guess if talking about strong points of...
Why do you not make videos about World of Warcraft? I'm actually confused. Why do you not just, like, they have a lot more trailers to steal. They have a lot more content that you can actually do, more both casual or... Actually, no, they don't have casual content. Actually, that... Never mind, I actually figured it out. They don't have casual content. You don't raid, you don't push mythic keys. Okay, never mind, I answered my own question.
Final Fantasy...
Well, you said you played it for like a decade. What do you do in that game? This is not me making fun of. This is actually me being confused because you don't do anything in 14, but you keep trying to make videos about it. You keep comparing it to World of Warcraft in multiple cases, but I'm like remembering like World of Warcraft mythic rating, okay, heroic rating, even if not LFG, even casual rating. Let's say that Mythic Plus. That whole game is designed around people rating and competitively pushing through, which is something I have not seen from you for, at this point, ages. What do you do in that game? If you ever see this video, just you don't have to open a discussion with me about any other opinion. Just tell me, what do you do in that game?
The item system and stat design might not be part of it. But what do you think? Would you love to see Final Fantasy take some steps into a more complex version of its own gearing system? Or would you even love to see it being reduced further and rewards being taken to the cosmetic sector alone, like they handle it in...
I don't think anyone wants that. Cosmetic sector is great and all, but I don't think anyone wants less simplicity. Like, not even the casuals. Even the casuals would want to feel at least some fulfillment after like getting a piece of gear, putting materia, even upgrading a tombstone item. It feels satisfying, even for a casual player. Even if you do nothing but normal raids or extremes, sometimes just getting enough tombstones for a weapon and then doing, the 4 weeks of the fourth normal turn and just upgrading it later, it's like, it feels satisfying, even for a casual player. So no, I feel like they just need to add some extra options for gear that have multiple stat choices. Obviously, there will always be BIS. Stats don't really need to change right now. It would just make the game very, very weird. But I feel like they just need to add more gear options. That's it. They can be recallers. I don't care about the cosmetic part about that. We've got more than enough of those. But just like more gear options. That's it. So we're not just stuck to tombstones and the same savage gear.
In most non-MMORPG MMOs. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section and let's hope for some big surprises in Dawntrail. I mean, Yoshi P didn't just casually highlight a new rewarding structure, right? So until then and next time, stay safe, keep grinding your crit and D-hit gear, and keep loving Final Fantasy.
If that reward structure would mean anything major, he would mention it a lot earlier, either during the last live letter, maybe during PAX, or during any of the FanFests, because this is a big thing, because they announced like lack of belts during the FanFest even, so gearing would also need something like that. But yeah, as usual, I'm gonna keep making these videos until Despair just starts googling, until he just starts researching his own shit. That's a video, I guess.